Awaken friends, Chris here, and welcome to your flow. This is a movement for moment, focusing on the core and the presence that it sort of brings us with that nice connected piece, unifying our body, bringing our mind into it, and bringing us into being. We're going to start with a couple of little sequences that are very familiar, and then we'll move into some others to really activate that core, bring it into a little bit of movement, a bit of heat, a bit of dynamic space. And whenever you're ready, come into your practice area. You don't need any props, just on your mat. Please don't forget to subscribe, like this video, comment on it so you can see more of this content. And when you're ready, we're going to come into a seated position. We're going to start moving through a breath of presence to help us connect into this present moment. And with that, I invite you to just start to let your breath move in through your nose and out through your nose, letting this nice box breath as we fill up the lungs and feel it expansive, and exhale, letting it out. And inhale, bringing that breath back up as our chest lifts a little bit, feeling that breath move into the back of our lungs, the top up, not too far from our shoulders, expansive and filling, and exhale, bringing it all out. Inhale, we'll bring our hands to our lap, and then we're going to flow with our hands up above our head. You'll see me moving a little bit more than I normally do because I'm in the rainforest and didn't quite clock that it's full of mosquitoes. So I'm just moving a little bit to stop getting eaten so much. Inhale, let's bring our hands up above our head. Our fingertips will touch. And exhale, we'll bring our hands down just into our heart center. And then our thumbs graze past heart center as we open back into our lap. Inhale, keeping this nice rhythmic movement as our hands move up. Our gaze may follow our fingertips. And exhale, coming down. And let our thumbs resting into our heart center and open into our lap. Inhale, flowing with this nice box yogic breath. Fingertips touch, and exhale, coming down and into our heart center and flowing down into our lap. Inhale, hands come back up above, and this time cactusing open so our elbows come to a 90 degrees with a gentle heart opening. On that exhale, and then inhale, bringing our hands around in front of us so our elbows touch, our hands touch, and exhale, thumbs back to heart center and open into our lap. Inhale, hands flowing up, gaze moves up with a gentle back bend as our hands move open to this nice cactus position, elbows to 90 degrees. Inhale, rolling those hands around. Feel the shoulders roll a little bit as you move. And exhale, hands to heart center and opening back up. Inhale, hands flowing up above us, bringing that nice energy of the day, the sunshine, wherever you are. Exhale to cactus. Inhale, rolling the hands through in front of us. Elbows touch, gaze follows those thumbs. And then exhaling down to heart center and coming down to the mat. We bring our hands down onto the mat. We bring our feet down. So we've got our hips stacking over our knees. Shoulders are over our wrists. We're going to just do a couple of gentle cat-cows to open up. You'll see my mat is sitting on pretty soft grass. Inhale, coming forward. So it's not the most stable today. Exhale, rolling in. But like yoga, it doesn't always matter about exactly where you are. It's the energy and that you bring to it. And exhale, dome that spine, articulate it in. And inhale, coming forward. And exhale, coming back. And now for 3 breaths, I invite you to kind of move on your own. Let those 3 breaths connect you to maybe a little bit of movement that's a bit more dynamic, a bit more animalistic. Maybe it's moving your elbows and your knees, feeling a little bit as you just center through. Last breath here, coming forward, nice and brightly open. Feel that collarbone open up. And exhale, coming back. Tucking the toes, let's lift up into a downward facing dog. Our first dog of the day, we might want to step this out, walking it out a little bit, feeling it, stretching out those calves, maybe a gentle bend through the elbows, through the knees, and then walking our hands. No, we're going to walk our feet. Sorry, not our hands. Walking our feet, tiptoeing up to the top of the mat. I was having a moment as I wanted to get a mosquito. And inhale, we're going to halfway lift. Fingertips just resting below the knees as we lengthen out our spine. And then exhale, folding down. Maybe gripping the elbows here and moving into a nice gentle ragdoll. Rolling around, moving around. Just feeling those hips wake up a little bit.
back of the legs, the hamstrings, the connective tissues. And inhale, coming to center. Halfway lift, fingertips pressing out below the kneecaps. And exhale, fold down. Inhale, rolling the spine. Let's roll it all the way up and coming up as we arrive at the top. And with the backs of our palms, rolling the hands open so the shoulders open nice and brightly. Forward to the front of our space and arrive into Tadasana pose. Feel the feet gripping into the mat or the crazy grass, drawing that energy up, tailbone down to the ground, shoulders come back, and elongating that spine, feeling it lift, feeling it like a nice piece of string lifting you up to the sky. Inhale, hands flow with us up above, fingertips touch. Exhale, hands will come through heart center as we fold forward, maybe keeping a nice bend in the knees to preserve that lower back, whatever feels good for you this morning. And inhale, fingertips onto the mat, lifting up into a half lift. And exhale, hands down and stepping ourselves back into plank pose. Holding this plank pose for a moment. Feel the strength moving through your shoulders, the back. Keep those shoulders rolling back and down. Our feet are moving towards the back of the mat, the heels moving as far back to the mat as we can start to lengthen out those calves. And exhale, elbows graze past the chest as we come down to the ground. Lifting up into a nice Cobra, baby Cobra pose. And exhale, coming down. And pressing ourselves up, but very gently. And this time, I invite you to lift your hands just so you can feel that the strength is in your back muscles, really giving you that moment. And exhale down. Inhale, coming up. And if you're feeling like it and you're feeling adventurous, lifting up into an upward facing dog. And exhale, rolling over the toes. And arriving back into your downward facing dog. And take a breath here. Center in. Feel the length. Feel your strength. Coming to the balls of the feet. Let's tiptoe back up to the top of the mat. Walking the feet up to arrive near the hands. Feet hip distance apart as we lift up into a halfway lift. Fingertips resting below the kneecaps to lengthen that spine out. And exhale, folding down, maybe with a nice bend in the knees for that back, or wherever feels good to you this morning. Inhale, rolling that spine, vertebra by vertebra. Roll, 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 roll. And as we arrive at the top, I like to keep my palms facing each other so I can roll the hands open and arrive into that strong mountain pose. Our Tadasana. Inhale, fingertips touch. And exhale, hands come down as we fold down to the ground. A nice offering, our humble offering. Inhale, fingertips on the mat. And then we're going to step back into plank pose. Holding with our strength in our plank pose, and then very slowly coming down to the mat. And up into our up dog, or into our Cobra pose, wherever you're feeling it today. And exhale, rolling over the toes. And coming back to downward facing dog. And take a breath here. Inhale, coming to the balls of the feet, and you can continue to step, or you can hop, skip, teleport to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, fold down. And then bending the knees, roll that spine as we arrive back up into our Tadasana pose. And inhale, hands moving up, fingertips touch, and exhale, folding through, hinging at the hips, maybe the nice gentle bend in the knees, and coming down to our fold forward. And let's just take our fold for a little bit longer. Take a nice breath in, maybe lift up a little bit, and exhale, fold a little deeper. Inhale, coming to fingertips on the ground and stepping back into our plank pose. Hold for a moment, and then very slowly coming down to the mat. Inhale, lifting up into our upward facing dog or Cobra, and exhale, rolling over the toes. Then back to downward facing dog. One more time of this awakening A. This nice, wonderful movement. Coming to the balls of the feet, bending the knees. Hop, skip, teleport, step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Fingertips moving below the kneecaps to lengthen out that spine. The nice Tadasana spine. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, bending the knees and rolling ourselves up. And opening up into our Tadasana pose. Mountain for strength. Feeling that move through the body. Bringing that into being. Inhale. Hands come up. Grab whatever type of energy is starting your day and bring it down with you through your heart center. Folding and offering as you open, hinging at the hips. Maybe a nice bend in the knees as we come down.
Inhale, fingertips on the mat, lengthening out, and then putting your hands down. And you can hop, skip, you can jump back, whatever feels good to you this morning. And lifting up into our upward facing dog and rolling over the toes. Then coming back to our downward facing dog. Bringing our knees down to the mat. And let's bring them to the wide edges of the mat and move into a nice child's pose just for a moment. Hands lengthening out, feet moving back, hips moving towards the heels. And take a nice centering breath. Coming back up to our tabletop, tucking the toes, lifting ourselves back up into our downward facing dog. Coming to the ball of the left foot, right foot will float up to the sky. Right knee will come through the chest, like we started with that nice doming of the spine early on. Really dome the spine as you move the right foot up to the right thumb. It may take a couple of steps. Once it arrives, I invite you to have the left foot move to 45 degrees and rise up into your Warrior One. And doing a really nice Warrior One rhythmic flow, let's move the hands back as they flow. The palms are facing up and the palms then are facing down as we arrive back into this nice sort of folding humble warrior. Hands coming back up. And exhale as we move forward, palms facing the ground behind us. Inhale, coming up and really watching that knee to make sure your right knee is tracking over your right ankle. And exhale, flow down. Inhale, hands flow up. And then this time the hands will come down to frame the right foot back to left foot, bringing our knees down. Our forearms come down. And we breathe up so our nose almost touches the mat. And we lift up into our upward facing dog or our cobra. And exhale, moving back to downward facing dog. Coming to the ball of the right foot, left foot will float up to the sky. Left knee will move up, doming that spine as the left toes arrive up to the left thumb. Right foot to a 45-degree angle as we rise up. We've got our left knee tracking over our left ankle. Then our hands begin to move back. And our palms are facing the ground. And chest is still facing the ground with nice length through that spine. Inhale, fingertips to the sky. Exhale, flowing back. Inhale, flying up. And exhale, this nice rhythmic warrior as we bring that breath to flow down. Inhale, hands up. And then hands come down to frame the left foot back to our right foot. Our knees will come down, our forearms come down as our hips move back towards our heels, and our nose comes close to the mat as we breathe in, lifting up into upward facing dog. Now up dog, our thighs are off the ground, feet are pressing firmly into the mat, and then roll over the toes. And we're back to our downward facing dog. Take a nice breath in here, and exhale, let everything go. Inhale to the ball of the left foot. Right foot will float up to the sky. Right knee comes up through the chest. Right toes to right thumb. Left foot 45 degrees as we rise up into our Warrior One. And flow rhythmically back. Hands backwards, palms facing the ground. Inhale, flying back up to our Warrior One. Exhale, moving forward. Feeling a little bit of depth here as those hips start to awaken a little bit more. Moving into it. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, flowing back to our rhythmic Warrior One. Inhale, hands up, a little more depth, feeling through that nice hip openings here, hip flexors. And then hands come down, framing the right foot back to left foot. Knees come down, forearms come down, and we breathe up into our warrior. Upward dog, And exhale over our toes, back to downward facing dog. And we continue with our Warrior One rhythmic flow. Left foot lifts, left knee comes up through the chest, left toes to left thumb, right foot opens to 45 degrees as we lift up. And then flowing back, palms facing the ground. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, palms down. Inhale, flowing up into our nice strong Warrior One. Energy of the day flowing with us. And exhale, back down. Inhale, hands up. Feel that length. Feel a bit more depth through our hips here. Strength through our knee. And exhale, hands framing the left foot back to right. Knees come down, forearms come down. Let's breathe up and into our upward facing dog. And this time as we move back, Let's exhale as we move back into a nice child's pose. And take a deep breath in here. And let it go. Coming up into our tabletop position, hips are stacking over the knees, shoulders are over our wrists here, feeling our strength into this moment. Let's take a nice centering breath and I invite you to bring your right hand out in front of you and your left hand out behind you. Maybe gazing back just to make sure the heel's pointing down to the ground, it's in length, and then exhale back to the ground. And this time I invite you to bring your right foot out and make sure the toes are pointing down first. I like to do the leg first. I don't know why I did the arm first on the other side. And then we bring the left hand out for a better centering balance. That way you can really see if the leg's in alignment. You can feel the strength here, really pressing up into the shoulder. Exhale down. Left foot back, gazing back. It's pointing down. Feel it's in the right space and positioning. And then right hand comes out. And exhale down. And feel this nice little core movement. So activating each side. Right foot out. Left hand out. And then down. And if you're feeling it today, we can take the left foot back. We can take the left hand out. And we can bend the left foot up. And you can reach back around. So as we reach, the palm faces to the upper side of the mat and moves around and grabs the inner edge of the ankle here. And then just kind of lifts it up a little bit. Feel that connection. Woo, the wobble on uneven ground. And exhale, let it go. And again, on the other side, right foot comes back, gazing, focus there, left hand out, left palm turns if you're feeling it, right foot bends up, and then we're moving around and just trying to grab that foot behind us. Lifting up a little bit, feeling this dynamic core movement, feeling the connection, the space, and exhale. Let it go. And coming back, sitting back onto your heels for a moment, take a connected breath here. Let's breathe in. Feel our core starting to awaken. We've got a bit of movement. We've got a bit of heat moving through the body from some of those pulsating, nice rhythmic flows. Hands coming down to the mat. Stepping back into our plank pose. Now this plank pose, you want to keep the feet a little bit wider or about shoulder distance here to give us a bit of strength here and give us a bit of room to play. Now, if this is a bit much at any time, you can bring your knees down. You can also swat a mosquito if it's sitting on your arm. But bring your knees down if at any time it's a bit strong. What we invite you to do, and we'll do them in a couple of moments, is starting in plank. Right, so from plank pose, we're going to begin to lift. Our right hand comes up and touches our left shoulder and then comes down. Left hand comes up, touches left shoulder and comes back down. Right hand comes up, touches right shoulder and comes back down. And left hand comes up and touches left shoulder and comes back down. And we're trying not to move our hips a lot here. We're trying to keep them in a nice, solid, straight line. Right hand comes up, right hand comes down. Left hand comes up, touches left shoulder, left hand comes down. Knees down, sit back, take a breath. Because that fire builds pretty quickly through there. Gets you moving, gets you feeling that in a pretty dynamic way as it connects into our space. Coming back to center. Hands on the ground, stepping back to plank pose. And with the plank pose, we're trying to focus on a really nice alignment of the spine here. We've got our hips. We're kind of just tucking a little bit, not pushing up, not pushing too far down, just a gentle tuck, and our heels are moving towards the back of the mat. Right hand will now, just check your feet position. Right hand comes up, touches left shoulder. Right hand down. Left hand up, touches left shoulder. Left hand down. Right hand up, touches left shoulder. Right hand down. Left hand up, touches left shoulder. Right shoulder, sorry. Left hand down, right hand up, touches left shoulder. Right hand down, left hand up, left hand touches right shoulder. Left hand down, knees down. Sitting back to mat and taking a breath. It's a pretty quick burn, that one. It builds up very fast. Puts a lot of strength in there. Really builds those muscles around your shoulders. It's building your lats. Really working on that strength, but really in the core. Your core is bracing and holding. And through each of these, hold that nice brace, hold that movement. Pelvic floor activations, any of those, bring it all into being. And squat a mosquito. Hands onto the ground, feet moving to the back of the mat. Hip distance apart. And let's bring the right hand up touching left shoulder, right hand down, left hand up, touching left shoulder, left hand down, right hand up, touches left shoulder, right hand down, left hand up to right shoulder, left hand down, right hand up, touches left shoulder, right hand down, left hand up, touches right shoulder, left hand down, knees down, sitting back, taking a breath, and feeling that connection, feeling that heat, feeling that moment as we're building that strength, rolling over, so our bums on the ground, feet coming forward, moving to the center of the mat, and then moving ourselves down. So we arrive into a nice low boat. Hands can move over the head. Let's feel this opening up. Shoulders are off the ground, necks off the ground, feet are lifted. Maybe the hands are down by our sides, which gives you a bit more movement through the shoulders. And then exhale, coming up into this nice high boat. I invite you to keep the knees bent here, so you can try to keep them almost parallel to the mat, and then open back out. And inhale. And exhale, keep your breath moving as we're doing a few little holds just to start. And then moving back out to our low boat position. Maybe hands come above the head. And then hands moving back around to the side. And lifting ourselves back up to our high boat. And then bringing our feet down to the ground for a nice centering moment. The moment before we begin, before we start to move through the rest of this. So coming back to our high boat position. Opening up. And we're just going to take it 20 times. So inhale, exhale, open. Inhale up, exhale, open. Inhale up, exhale, open. 4. Inhale, open. Inhale, open. 6. Inhale, open. 7, 8, 9, 10, halfway. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Hold. Maybe legs lengthen out a little bit. Hold. And then exhale all the way down and land on the mat. And take a moment here, lying here. Switch on so that you're on the mat. And breathe. Maybe bring the feet up so your feet move to the edges of the mat. And let your knees just roll in a little bit to feel this nice resting moment across the legs. And bring your feet out to the edges of the mat and lifting your right knee up, hug it into the shoulder crease. And then moving the right knee over the body. Right hand comes up. Right knee will touch the ground first. And then the right shoulder will move over towards the ground. And try to aim to keep the right shoulder on the ground. If the right knee's floating up in the air, just tuck the toes behind the knee and let it sit there. Exhale back to center. Left knee comes up. Left knee pulls up towards the shoulder crease. Nice big tuck in. And then moving with the left hand up in the sky. And laying down, and you've arrived into my favorite pose, Savasana. It's never used to be my favorite pose, but it is now. I just love it. And start to connect into your breath, letting it move through your body, your space, let the noises around you. Just let you find your presence, your moment. And stay here for as long as you want, or as long as the video will allow, before an ad or another video starts. But I want to thank you for flowing with me, for coming to find your moment in time, your moment here, and letting movement help you connect to your moment. It's been an honor and a joy flowing with you. I hope you have an amazing rest of the day, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Namaste.